What's one of the most important things that we need to keep in mind while doing riyaz for a few hours or infinite amount of hours?
Well, um, I uh, cannot directly answer your question, and there is again technical reason and a logical reason because um, I cannot give a blanket statement. I do not know what do you know of Riyaz. Um, what kind of pedagogy do you follow? What has been told to you? Who told you? What is your source of information? If it is just some books from here, there, and everywhere, and you are self-teaching yourself, it is the most dangerous thing to do. It is like entering into a fighter jet and carrying the operational manual and then, putting the throttle and trying to take off at the speed of sound, if I may. It can be as disastrous like that, right? Self-teaching uh, is like that. It's trying to attempt to uh, take a satellite into space or a rocket into space with an operation manual, never having undergone any pedagogy or learning or formal training or authentic training, if I may. If your source of information is a musician whose source of information is again the books or a hodgepodge, and just because we are kind and gentle and humble enough, we don't question, we don't look for the length and breadth. Again, then I would be very hesitant to advise on that. So these are my disclaimers. Um, Now I come to my answer. Now I'm saying that, okay, how do I practice? So I'm going to now take that question upon myself so that because I know it is certified, who are the people who taught me? And I've never been taught, I have nothing to do with the contemporary music or the books. In fact, several contemporary works and books have been now rephrased and rewritten because of my interventions. My interventions are those which are by way of the intervention of the parampara. That means the Guru's court is now making interventions through me in the books which are being now altered and rewritten. For example, Professor Saxena rewrote his essay on rhythm and aesthetics after listening to the pakhavach that was played by me, but it was not my pakhavach, mine were just the hands and the joy that I had, the body, but the vidya and the knowledge is of the Guru's court. So the ownership of all accolade is at the feet of the Guru. The most important um, if I'm singing, then again the question would be when I'm practicing the drums or I'm practicing the strings or I'm practicing making of instruments or I am singing. So all of them would have different answers because I'm a multidisciplinarian and a ruthless one and a serious one. That is that I'm not a flirt in any kind of, I don't flirt with any of these fields. I have been fortunate to attend to them on a very serious note. And hence my difficulty in answering just by way of how many details I can include in my reply, in my response. That is what I'm trying to grapple with. So I'm now limiting myself to singing. I'm assuming that you're talking about singing. And tell me if I'm wrong, I can then, it'll help me to channel my thoughts accordingly. So am I right in assuming you're talking about singing?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So if I am, for example, if I've been taught, let's say, I've been told, as I used to be told several times, I have a very long mala of beats, more than 1,000 beats, and I've been told, well, hey, Baldeepa, Barbadar, run this down 3, 4 times. I said, whether 3 times or 4 times. He says 4 times. So imagine that there went my 14, 15 hours, or sometimes even more. Because I have to do that pattern 2,000 times now. And then that is where the focus comes. So how do I do it? Can I just run it? Or because I am under gaze, I am under constant watch, it's not my curse. It is also the curse of my maestro who's going to have to live through it too. He's going to listen. So I cannot steal in that. I cannot just run, I cannot do because time, they know, they've run the things, they've run the miles, they know that it'll take a certain number of hours, they know the count. And for example, one of them was this very beautiful one in Peron. It begins, it's not the end of it, huh? But I'm starting again. This is one movie. So it's like mile long. It's one. So my question would be, well, what do I need to take care that I'm doing riyaz for the next 15 hours or 18 hours? Or sometimes I have to continue in 2 days because it's so long, it'll take me maybe 30 hours, so it has to be spread over 2 days. So I sleep, when I sleep, then I have to get up and continue. So water will be given, milk will be given to me. I don't have to look for it. So they would care, they would mother, father me like that. The most important is the focus. I mean, one has to be present in the practice is the first thing. The moment your mind goes, your attention to detail is lost and immediately gets seen by the maestro. So he would be checked, hey, where are you? Stay where you are. Right? They would immediately know because there's so much happening within that you have to be present in your practice. If you're not, it's not going. I'm just joking. I'm on Facebook. Etc. etc. Point I'm making is, so when I'm doing something, it will be immediately caught. So my attention is caught anywhere, I might stop, or the dynamics is stopped. Did you see? So that's a space where I'm to practice kamaks. Right? So there I have to be practiced. Now when I'm to produce the kamak, my nabhi, my posture has to be, and I'm playing the tanpura. By the way, I'm not just sitting there. I'm not allowed to use any synthetic sound. I have to play the tanpura. My fingers are going to be full of blisters. But I have to bloody pull the strings. There's no escape of that. Nobody is going to do the labor for me. So, while practicing the tanpura, while singing the tanpura, sound should be constant and should be organic. Should be able to inspire the atmosphere outside and within, right? And if I am to be there, so how am I holding the note time when I sing? I have to be present in that, and the Om exercise has every single note or every single phrase within that is utilizing different vocal ornaments. That means every time I have to render them. And there's so many, without being present in the practice, I will not be rendering them. That's one. So attendance and being present in the practice is the most important. And I've already, by subtracting you out of the question, I've already added to the within the to my answer the fact that I have to be as a student judicious. That my time, I value my time. I will only allow my time to be utilized by an authentic pedagogical process. That I don't want that my time is not there to be wasted. I'm willing to donate my time, my years in practice, but as I believe, will only allow myself to attend to authentic musical systems. And those musical systems have a very evolved pedagogy. And they tell us what to do, not to do, how not to do. Does that answer your question, or need to be more specific?
No, it answers my question.
It answers the question, sir.
Anything else?
What is the difference then when you practice?
Can you come closer to ask? I would like to hear the original question from the person concerned. If you may just walk to the microphone or close to the source and speak your question, and you can then go back and sit.
So how do you practice differently when you practice Jodi? Gurleen Suri?
Okay.
She's the younger sister.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
She's a little crazy too.
Nothing of nepotism here. Then nobody else will ask a question. Go ahead.
So now you've explained how you practice singing. So what is the difference between that and Jodi?
My singing and Jodi difference, or tabla and Jodi difference?
Your singing and Jodi practicing difference.
Oh, practicing Jodi altogether. You need to look at the three instruments that there are. There is the pakhavaj or mridang. As both the terms pakhavaj and mridang are used in in Gurbani. Vajamat pakhavaj pao is used, in which pakhavaj is used. Then by Gurdas, Pani is Vara is Kakar Baba, Kaviya Bachan Tal, Mridangra Baba. Mridang is used in the Gurbani. There are several references in Aarti. There is also then there is Gurmanar, there are Surankiya composition. It says Aise Re Man Paye Kayab Gawai Kar Sadhan Baje Bashe Mridang Ganad Kotal Viram Nam Bole Madar De Nasuya. So Pakhavaj and Mridang are both the same. Pakhavaj, Pakha is Sanskrit for arms or the hands. What to play? Pakhavaj, the one that you play with your hands. It's a referral. Mridang is derived from mrit, and mrit is mitti, the soil. It used to be a potter's produce before it became a wood carver's produce. But it retained Mridang because even the utpuj or the trees sprouts out of the soil. So it is just another form of the soil. So it retained the name Mridang, Mridang as such. So both are synonyms, basically meaning the same instrument. One says how you make it. It is to do with the luthier's derivation. The other is how you play it. You don't play it with your feet. You don't play it with the sticks like the nagara. You play it with your hands. Pakhavaj. The second instrument is the Jodi, which is the split of the pakhavaj into two. And the third is the tabla. There are three forms of playing. One is the saath, in which both hands are open. So dha, dung, there's some videos, etc., of mine playing the Jodi on YouTube. And now there is a little example from the Loyola Marymount University, in which I have just played a few minutes of the cheda and muqas of on the pakhavaj itself. It's sitting in a virasana. So open, both hands open is called the playing of the saath. Playing of the jat is tama, or the aate wala hand open, and the right hand becoming closed. That's the playing of jat. Dhananaga, 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 Gregedri dhananaga, dhananaga, gida, Gregedri dhananaga, dhananaga, gida, Gregedri dhananaga, 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 dhananaga. This is Jat. Okay? So dhanda timda dhran, dhanda timda dhanda dhran, dhananaga, dhananaga, Gregedri dhanda timda. It's Jat again. Gat is both hands closed. Right? That is the Gat playing. Now, Gat is also kind of composition, but those are not to be, confused with what I am playing here right now. On the Pakhavich, only the first two forms of Saath and Jat can be played. On the tabla, you can only play the Gat, both hands closed. But on the Jodi instrument with the Atewala Tama, you can play all three forms of all three evolutions of the playing of in the art of playing Pakhavich or art of playing percussions. That is the Saath, Jat and Gat. So when you are practicing Jodi as such, you are practicing all three forms of evolution in the Guru's court. And this clarification is not derived from any other school of percussion but from the Guru's traditions and specifically as taught me by Nelson Singh Dharan. Does that make any sense? So with the playing of Saath, there is a whole regimen of Padala da Riyaz Karna and learning the repertoire and learning the nikas, and so is the playing of the Jat when you learn the repertoire, learn the nikas, and the same is learning the Vidya and the nikas and the rendition, the way to render certain poles and so on and so forth, how they are.